And now, Cincy Jungle proudly presents the Dalton Dispatch with your hosts,
T-Bone McGee filled in for
Daddy-O McDuck and Dr. Hoji the Electric Smoji.
Well, hello, welcome to the Dalton Dispatch. Against the Chargers, Andy Dalton was 16 of 26 for 214 yards and 3 touchdowns. Once again, Tyler Eifert had the most receiving yards with 49, but Marvin Jones wasn't far behind. He had 48, and A.J. Green had 45. All three of them scored touchdowns, too, so Dalton is seen to field awfully well these days. He also wasn't sacked for the second straight game, and he responded to pressure by getting rid of the ball quickly.
Well, he didn't technically turn it over, even though he was saved by the refs after a fumble returned for a touchdown that was reversed. But look, he threw a great deep ball to Marvin Jones. I didn't even know Dalton had that kind of touch on long throws. The Bengals, they beat a solid team. Dalton, as you indicated, T-Bone, that's your name, right? Like the steak, T-Bone. He spread the ball around. Look, for these reasons, based on my range of red, which measures Dalton's hair color based on his performance, Dalton's hair was auburn. A very good game for Dalton.
Well, you think that with a QB rating of 126.1, his second straight week over 115, and a big win over the Chargers, Dalton's hair would be brown.
Here's why his hair wasn't brown, my pungent friend. Dalton started out completing 7 of his first 8 passes. Yes, I agree with that. But then he finished completing only 5 of 12 in the second half, with only 82 yards, 0 touchdowns, and a couple of near interceptions, including another one where the man-child's pass was tipped at the line of scrimmage again. You know what happened right before that second half? That's right, Dalton's terrible, near-game-turning fumble that was reversed. After that, the mojo, it just wasn't the same. His coach didn't trust him, and you know what? He didn't trust himself. All of a sudden, San Diego comes charging back, and Dalton is nowhere to be found.
Well, the Bengals still did get 10 points in the second half, so there's that.
Yeah, but it was Giovanni Bernard's show. The nifty, peppy running back had 123 yards on only 20 carries, 79 yards in the second half. He picked up critical first downs late in the game. He showed incredible toughness and elusiveness after Jeremy Hill had basically made him an afterthought since late last season. And the defensive line kept Phillip Rivers and friends from lighting up the scoreboard and forcing Dalton to win a shootout, getting 4 sacks and forcing Rivers into a game-sealing interception. So, Dalton was bailed out by his supporting cast late in the game, hardly the performance of a top-flight quarterback.
Well, anyway, the Bengals moved to 2-0 and they're first in the tough AFC North. So.
That is true, and it brings me to today's Hojoscope. So, my longtime friend and co-host Daddy-O McDuck has disappeared. One rumor has it, T-Bone, that because of your cheap and faulty tires, he flew off the road somewhere and is living in the woods. No one knows. Did we have our differences? Oh yeah, you bet we did.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I put brand new tires on there for him.
Right. I'm sure your so-called new tires are in fact pretty new. And I'm sure, you know what, I'm sure you're a nice enough guy, but you will never, and I need to make this clear, ever be able to hold a candle to Daddy-O McDuck, let alone take his place. In fact, you know, I'll be honest, man. Cincy Jungle, the salary they're paying me to do this show, it's really not that much. It's not even a major source of income for me. It's what, $140K per year. I use the money for my aquarium feed. So, if Daddy-O doesn't come back after 10 episodes, you heard me 10, I'm out. You hear that, everyone? Hoji will be out. And what does this mean for Dalton? You might ask. Next week against the fierce Chiefs defense, expect Dalton to be like our friend T-Bone here. Decent, but not what you would expect from a professional like Daddy-O. In other words, Dalton will be rattled and indecisive in the face of Justin Houston and company. If the Bengals have a chance, it's going to be the running game along with safe short passes that saves them. Sort of like T-Bone's tire shop has narrowly avoided bankruptcy by finding suckers like my beloved, missing, yet gullible friend Daddy-O McDuck.
You know what? I actually noticed we're out of time, Haji, so if you could, wrap it up. Or...
This is Dr. Hoji, the Electric Smoji, wishing you an auspicious fall equinox and blessed mojos for all of our viewers. Namaste.